No, it was the German government. They were giving us the sponsorship, well, the assistance. And I assumed that as a government, they would do the responsible thing.
Okay. Do you know that the Hansedal, but as part of our government, don't you think you should also do the responsible thing and find out what was the story behind the Hans Sedel Foundation? Because do you know that they also collaborate with News 24?
I'm not aware of that.
And that it collaborates with the Institution of Security Studies that is chaired by a Jackie Salas, who goes around calling for prosecution of members of parliament and engages political discourse.
I didn't know that either, but I'm not sure how that becomes a challenge. It would be good to understand.
So you don't see how private funding can risk the capture of institution, of any institution for that matter, yet alone institutions like our criminal justice system. I mean, we also had our previous Concord Mogoeng, who refused to take private funding as well because of the sacredness of these institutions that we have. And why do you feel differently?
So let me say that with regard to and it's not private funding. We are not getting funds, but we have engaged in innovative partnerships with the private sector to ensure that we get the skills and capacities that we need to assist us in the fight against corruption. The reason why we think this is not problematic is that we put safeguards in place to make sure that we distance ourselves from the funding as such, but also to be clear that this is in line with international good practice. The UN Convention Against Corruption specifically states that it's important for government to actually partner with the private sector in their fight against corruption. So this is an international good practice, and we have engaged in a very strategic way with relevant partners to ensure that we get the capacities, capabilities in the NPA, which in a very financially and fiscally constrained environment, we do not have. So this was actually bilateral meetings that we had with the government of Germany and the South African government. I understand even ministers been involved. And so we put in place the safeguards to get the assistance to train and capacitate, really bespoke training for prosecutors and investigators in the fight against corruption.
So, Advocate,